Okay. This one's gonna be my last one for tonight. For the night. This one's definitely the last one of the night for me. But this one's going to Aquarius and Leo. So Aquarius, Leo, Sun, Moon, and specifically rising, as these lunations will be happening in the axis across from each other. So I'm going to be doing this a little bit differently for a few reasons. So just like how I did the past, present, and future readings in the modalities, where it was the cardinals, the fixed, and the mutable signs, the beginning, the middle, and the end of each season, I felt like it was pretty appropriate as we have shifted into a new astrological year that we kind of connect back to the basics of our zodiac lineage. So connecting with the modalities seemed appropriate because, again, it's the the start, middle, and end of each season, and we got to kind of collectively look at our groups and say, what is our mission here? And then with this, I'm going to be pairing you with your sister sign, which is the sign across from you in the zodiac, Aquarius and Leo. This is for you. And I'm doing that, like I said, for multiple reasons. One of the reasons is literally so I can catch up on my scheduling with these readings. I have just, in my personal realm, in my career and stuff like that, it has, your girl's been booked and busy. Let me just say that. Your girl's been booked and busy. And so work has been a little bit more demanding of my time. And then also, it's getting warm outside. So my personal desires are starting to take a bit of my time as well. And then this is like one of the paths leading into my purpose. So I can't leave it hanging, but I need to figure out a schedule for sure. So don't mind me. But I do feel like this is appropriate. Again, trying to get back to the basics of things. And also reminding each zodiac how how similar they are to each other. Starting with your sister sign. There's a reason you guys share an axis together, Aquarius and Leo. And I'm speaking more to Aquarius on this note. I know y'all don't like to admit nothing to nobody that you are alike in any or similar in any type of way to anybody. I know you guys are all about originality and things like that and trying to be one in a million. We get that. But there is so many characteristics and qualities that you do share with your sister sign, Leo. Okay, and that's something we're gonna kind of talk about. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. But before we get into that, this is about the lunations. We had recently just had a full moon in Libra that was on April 1st. And then we will be having a new moon in Aries in a couple weeks on the 17th. Okay. And their Aries and Libra are on an axis together. So yeah, but where this is all falling into your chart, this is going to be rising sign specific. So if you know your rising sign, go try to find that video and watch it. But this is for Aquarius and Leo rising sign specific. But of course, Sun and Moon is very much invited here. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I'm going to be talking about placements on your chart, so try to find your rising sign. Other than that, what else should I say? I should say, since we're moving into a new moon, again, new moons are about setting new goals, intentions, and aspirations, planting new seeds. The last time we talked about a new moon was the new moon in Pisces that had ended the astrological year for last astrological year. And we had a new moon that was kind of the closing chapter of that. Again, where we were able to plant new seeds and things like that. And how we were closing things out and initiating new beginnings. So here's the new beginning. We're in Aries season. We are literally in the season. You may have planted, you know how you plant your seeds on the last frost of the season. That's kind of like what you did in Pisces season. You put your seed in the dirt, and now in Aries season, you just tend to it. You just see what's sprouting out for you, kind of what's in bloom. But ultimately, it's still about planting seeds. Aries is about the self, personal identity. So things around personal identity, who you are and who you are to others, which is Libra, is going to be the collective theme around these moons, around these lunations. Wherever it falls in your chart, though, is the more specific theme for you. So, getting into that, let me just quickly go over the full moon in Libra. That was on April 1st, and I had two quotes that I kind of put out there. Well, I only put one quote out there, but I had two quotes on that full moon in Libra. The first quote that I didn't share, but is very, very technical to Libra, or the full moon in Libra, is the truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. Okay? Full moons are about releasing and letting things go. Libra, it's about truth, respect, reciprocal efforts, and about agreements, contracts. Like, what did we agree on? How are we going to divvy this up between us? And how is it true to ourselves, respectful to ourselves? Okay? So, Aries, again, is who are we? Libra is who are we to other people? Okay? All right. Okay. So, around the full moon, and we're still in that full moon energy, so things may still be in the works. Around the full moon, you may have noticed, and I will get more specific in where this landed for you. You may have noticed anything that was unreciprocal in effort, energy, and just consistency, anything that was unreciprocal in nature for you may have to skedaddle. Okay, anything that wasn't just seeing you eye to eye, wasn't true to you and who you are becoming, all that. Okay, those are things that may have to be released and let go. Any connections, relationships that weren't reciprocal in nature or aligned with who you are or who you are becoming. Yeah. And if you had to overcompensate or be overgiving in a relationship on who you are to other people, they said Libras are not people pleasing no more. No more are we taking the weight of trying to be considerate of your needs when you weren't even considerate of mine. Okay. So that's kind of the energy that was given. My second quote that I didn't say, but I did put out there because that full moon landed on April 1st. That quote was, "Play the fool to fool the fool." Okay? And that is definitely Libra coded, because as aloof and airheaded that people try to deem Libra, they really, really underestimate the fact that Libra, like, literally has to manually balance their light and their darkness. Okay? They say that Libras have a heart of an angel, but a mind of a demon. And balancing those things out, the head over heart decisions and things like that, Libras choose to be aloof. Libras choose to be lighthearted because they can get dark very quickly. Okay? Their sister sign is Aries. Okay? They will go there. That's what they share in common. Libras are a little bit more diplomatic and considerate. Aries are a little bit more selfish and like, I'm going to do what I fucking want to do. When they balance that out, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay? But that's kind of where it is. So where is this landing for you? Okay? Aquarius rising. Let's talk about the new moon. This new moon in Aries will be landing in your third house of communication. Leo rising. This new moon in Aries will be landing in your ninth house of philosophy. During the full moon in Libra, those were flipped. So for Leo rising, that full moon, what you were releasing and letting go of in regards to how you were showing up to other people was how you were communicating with those people. What you were saying, the words you were speaking, the information and knowledge you were gathering. So on the flip side, for Aquarius, that full moon in Libra, what you were releasing and letting go and how you were showing up for other people, is how your whole perspective of the world and your worldview, different things that just wasn't aligning, like different spiritual and philosophical knowledge that you have gained, and you decided to let go anything that wasn't reciprocal or bound in your truth, on who you were becoming moving forward. Okay, so those were things that you may have or are still in the process of releasing and letting go, and how it relates to you relating to other people. Okay, now with this new moon, those energies are flipped. So the Aquarius, you now have the opportunity to plant new seeds or see what's sprouting up for you in regards to communication. How you communicate with people, what you speak with people, different knowledge that you share and intake with people. Okay? Just people in close proximity to you that are acquainted with you. Just people that you talk to, conversate with, share knowledge with. Okay? So you're able to plant new seeds on how you communicate about, or how you speak up about things, how you share ideas in your intellect. For Leo, this being in your ninth house now, Aries new moon in your ninth house, is who you are in this world. Where do you sit? Where's your little chess piece in this entire board game? Okay, what is your philosophy? What is your philosophical view of the world? What is your spiritual again perspective and view on the world around you? What type of cultures have you been able to connect with? This is about all the data points that you have from different things and how it works with you and your belief system. So you're seeing some new things sprout up because you have become this new, you are becoming, or you are in becoming, or you have became this new version of yourself, okay? And so you're seeing what's kind of sprouting up in regards to who you are becoming in the spiritual perspective, philosophical perspective around it. It's beautiful. It really is. So for both of you, this is generally about communication, knowledge, data, like collecting viewpoints from different perspectives, whether that's closely acquainted with you or very expanded from you. It can involve travel from either like little cities, little towns, going to little different areas around your normal area, or like literally going outside of yourself, traveling to different countries and just totally shifting your perspective on how other people view things through different lenses. It's beautiful. It really is. So, without further ado, let's just get into the reading. So, again, I am doing something a little bit different by pairing you up with your sister sign, but also I am laying out, I am doing the Celtic cross layout today. So what can pop up can be anything in the range of relationships, family, career, friendships, personal growth, whatever. Anything could pop up here. So please, please, please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Again, this is for Aquarius and Leo, Sun, Moon, and specifically rising, but this reading can be for anyone. With those placements. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But ultimately, it's about sharing and collecting knowledge and data around who you are or who you are becoming and who you are to other people. You've let go of anything that no longer, you've shed away that old narratives, old identities, and stepping into new. And you have to speak up about it. You can't convince anyone about anything until you convince yourself first. Okay? Until you believe in that yourself first, you will not be able to convince anybody else. Psychic. And then at the bottom of the deck, divine feminine. Ooh, somebody's tapping into their intuition. The number 6, the number 48. I feel like you're tapping into your receptivity. You're tapping in to that feminine energy, whatever you present yourself as, you have feminine and masculine energy within. The feminine energy is highly connected to your emotions and your intuition. Okay? As a psychic, you're very, very intuitive. You're very intuitive. You could be unlocking new abilities. And I should actually say the 9th house of philosophy is the house about like teaching. You may be some type of advisor or teacher or something like that, some type of psychic for real. Like you're going to actually people are actually going to come to you to look at what your perspective on the world is. And so you need to learn how to speak. Throat chakra energy needs to amplify. But with divine feminine here, you are just absorbing in that energy, absorbing in the knowledge. You're being just very receptive, very open, very magnetizing to maybe your psychic abilities, or just being able to tap into your intuition, being receptive. I'm just looking at the circles. So you know how like this looks like a Venn diagram, and then this, but like literally if you were to reconfigure it a little bit, it would be kind of like the same image. I feel like you have to step outside of yourself a little bit. Divine feminine is also about embodiment, embodying what you want, desire, and need in life. Okay, let's get into it. This is the energetic center of the situation. This is what's challenging it. This is what's beneath it, an unconscious cause, underlying cause, excuse me. This is what's behind it, what's in the past. This is what's above it, what's in reach, what's a conscious decision that you can strive for. And this is what's ahead of it, what's in the future. All right, Aquarius, Leo, this is your heart space. This is your environment. This is your hopes and or fears, and then this is your personal outcome. The bottom of the deck will not be revealed until the end for further clarification, so let's jump in. In the middle here, we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups. This is giving male and female dominated fields. The King of Cups is being able to protect, provide, and initiate things around your emotional needs. So being able to protect your emotional needs is by being able to display and enforce emotional boundaries. Being able to provide in this realm is being able to provide emotional depth and intelligence, maturity, wisdom. And then being able to initiate in this field is being able to provide actual, again, emotional intelligence and wisdom to be able to navigate through complex emotions. Okay, the king, I like to see him here in the upright. You know, he really knows how to smooth things out. Very charming energy. Okay, very sweet and sincere as well. Beautiful. What's challenging it? Grief, disappointment, and emotional loss. 5 of Cups. So you're teeter-tottering around this guilt, shame, disappointment, emotional loss. You're grieving. Ultimately, you're grieving. You're teeter-tottering around like oh, I've lost more than I gained, and oh, I may have dodged a bullet. You can't really like plant your feet on what you're feeling here, okay? Ultimately, you just feel ashamed. You feel just really remorseful, um, and ultimately still just grieving loss in general. But this card in particular has a lot to do with um, potentially like a silver lining here of potentially dodging a bullet, because if you were to keep all of those cups together, it's depicted here that two cups have red um, liquids coming out of it, but one has green liquid, which kind of interprets it or depicts it as one of those cups was poisonous and contaminated. And if you would have put them all together in your reservoir, you would have contaminated your entire reserve. So it's almost best that you lost what you lost, but it doesn't make it any better. Okay. It's just time for you to kind of remember what you do have, what you were able to keep. You may have lost more than you were able to gain, but you still were able to gain. So that's kind of where the silver lining kind of pushes in a little bit, is that you still have the ability to, continue to build with what you have. Okay. So what's an underlying cause here? An unconscious underlying cause here. Four of Wands, instability, energetic instability. Also, it could also point to either not having anyone to celebrate with, or you yourself do not celebrate your own win. Like, you don't celebrate your accomplishments, you don't celebrate your milestones. Once you reach a goal, you don't actually appreciate the fact that you got there. You're just on to the next goal. But is some type of relationship, some type of milestone here that went awry. This card is usually about bringing people together to celebrate, even in means of marriage, but ultimately taking something to the next level. So this can be graduation, a housewarming. Just when you celebrate, you taking something to the next level, and you're bringing people in together. You're bringing other people in together. There's an energetic instability here. Instability within the home, within the relationship, within the family, within how you come together and celebrate those milestones and achievements together. It's unstable. Okay, so what's in the past? Eight of Wands. You got there's like a concentration of energy all going. It's like everything kind of hits you at once. Everything hit you all at once here. It was very intense energy coming at you all at once, one after the other, like no breaks, all gas, no breaks. You had a lot of people coming at you at once. You had a lot of things coming at you at once. A lot of thoughts coming at you at once. All wanting your attention. All needing your focus. All needing your concentration coming at you. Okay, so what's above here? What is a conscious decision that can be made to strive for? Six of Pentacles, generosity, reciprocity. being generous with reciprocal energies, being able to put in the equal amount of, or being able to produce the equal amount of give and take within whatever it is, but dealing with reciprocal energies and efforts. So the goal here is to be generous, but only those that can be generous to you, or even to be generous enough that it just fulfills you to have that generous spirit. There's no need for, like, you're not doing things to get something out of another. You're just doing it because it fulfills you, it fulfills your generous spirit. Okay? But ultimately, you're striving for reciprocal energy, balanced, generous energy. So, moving forward, what is ahead here in the future? Seven of Swords in the reverse. Some type of lie is going to be exposed. Some type of lie of deceit and manipulation. Some type of trickery of the mind here will be exposed. Somebody here is lying or being very strategic and deceptive and manipulative in the way that they're moving around. They seem to be doing it right in your face. And either you're turning a blind eye to it or you're distracted by other things, like being in this remorseful state. And so there's some energy around you. This could even be you. Either there was a point in time you were trying to be really strategic, a little sneaky about how you were approaching things, or this can be someone to you. Either way, it's some type of lie will be exposed. The truth shall set you free. Okay? So in the future here, anything that was built on lies, manipulation, and deceit will be upended. Okay? So, Aquarius, Leo, let's look at your heart space. The Hangman. You are in deep thought and introspection right now. Your heart feels stuck, a little stagnant. It feels like, but it's stuck in a place. It's like in between two places right now. Your heart space is stuck in between two places right now. And in order for you to unlock the new door, there's a need to be a shift in perspective. You need to put your foot in another person's shoes and shift the perspective, like look at it in a different way. And it's meant to enlighten you, not disregard you or invalidate anything that you have perceived differently before. It's just here to kind of help you become more well-rounded. So your heart space, I don't want to say is blocked off, but there's something in there that is taking up a lot of capacity because there's a lot of reflection that still needs to be done. Okay? So in the environment, the Emperor, taking charge, taking the lead, taking authority. Very ambitious and confident. This is that Aries energy that, I don't want to say selfish, but it's selfish. It's about the self, taking leadership on your own self journey, taking the lead. So if this is divine feminine at the bottom of the deck, this is quite literally the Emperor is divine masculine energy. Finding a way to balance it, you may have to tap into your intuition a little bit more. You may have to tap into what your emotions are trying to tell you a little bit more. Because you already have the action, the drive, the willpower to push forward. And in your environment, it seems like there's a lot of things that you are managing or in control of here. And it's very much has you in your action oriented masculine energy, which great, terrific. But it may cause an imbalance somewhere when you don't even it out with the divine feminine energy within. So your hopes and or fears, they're Hierophant. Damn, 3 major arcanas over here. Major shifts happening on a personal level for you. Hopes and or fears is the Hierophant. Hope and or fear is commitment. I can see it being both. You can hope for commitment, hope for high value, status, and worth of yourself. There can also be a fear of commitment, a fear of your sense of personal worth and value, fear of having to commit to that sense. But it's about commitment. It's about learning lessons around that, those values within yourself and what you produce out of that. Okay. Let's see your personal outcome. The Page of Cups. Personal outcome for you is just to be very lighthearted, playful, and flirty. Not really taking things too seriously. You don't really have the capacity to take anything too seriously. So you're just trying to like dip your toe in and just trying to test the waters out and see what kind of comes to you. But again, you really don't have very much complexity in regards to your emotions here, which is funny enough because the center of your the energy around the situation is King of Cups. So there needs to be a level of advanced emotional intelligence. But you're personally showing up only as a page. Interesting. You don't want to fully commit. So I'm kind of taking that Hierophant as a fear. You kind of fear the lessons that need to be learned around self-value. Self-worth, personal value. There's a sense of fear here of that type of commitment. And so you're not giving it your all, but you're open to giving it something, giving it what you got, but not giving it your all. Not yet. I don't think you. Let's see. What's at the bottom of the deck? The Fool in the reverse. Yeah, there's so much fear here. Fear of the unknown, fear of uncertainty, fear of starting something new. Fear of taking a risk, taking a leap of faith. Faith of a mustard seed. You need to hold on to that. But you don't have it. There's some type of naiveness around your energy. with the Page of Cups and then the Fool here, you're very naive. I feel like you're easily influenced by other people, or you can be. And sometimes those things may hold you back or present or project fear in your path. Let's look at this King of Cups crossed by the Five of Cups, because it's like your emotional wisdom, maturity, and intelligence cannot shine because of this grief, because of this emotional loss. Like, you can't sit in your power around how you protect, provide, and initiate these emotional needs and security because you have experienced emotional loss. Okay? Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, Five of Swords here. I feel like you lost touch with yourself. You lost touch on how to, I feel like you, hey, even possibly neglected yourself, neglected your health, neglected how you took care of things. Because the Queen of Pentacles, she takes care of things, okay? She handles things. But here, it was like you were being drained. Everything that you invested just pennies down the drain. And you feel defeated. Five of Swords here. You may have it may have like induced some type of argument, some type of confrontation. Ultimately, it was some harsh words being spewed. You know, you may have said something, they may have said something, you may have gotten the last word or whatever, but there still was no resolve. And so ultimately, there are no winners in how this had been handled here. And it just left you with nothing. Left you with nothing. You either overcompensated and overgave, overinvested into this, and ultimately left yourself self-neglected. Or shit, maybe you were even like really selfish. You were selfish in how you were giving things out, and it caused this conflicting conversation. Somebody had to confront either how they weren't handling business correctly, how they were mishandled. Something here. Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Princess of Pentacles. So while one person is showing up as the queen, somebody is only showing up as a page. So they had little to nothing to invest into this, and the Queen of Pentacles overgave. With this Six of Pentacles energy, this generous Six of Pentacles, equal give and take energy, right? Reciprocal energy. It wasn't reciprocal. Something here was not reciprocal, either emotionally or even financially, materially. In regards to their resources, time, energy, whatever. Someone mishandled it. They were either mishandled or mishandled their opportunities, their materials, and somebody else showed up not having much to even fix it. Like they don't have anything. They don't have much to hold for themselves, let alone to be able to help this Queen of Pentacles. You know what I mean? Like they genuinely don't have enough time, energy, efforts, resources, money, whatever. They genuinely do not have anything to be able to even help this person. Shoot, they barely helping themselves. They're barely holding on, taking care of themselves. There's just a willingness to plant new seeds. There's a willingness to invest. There's a willingness to try to see how we can double this up or something. Like, how can we multiply this a little bit? But instead of multiplying, something definitely, I don't want to say that got subtracted, but something definitely got divvied up unfairly. And it caused some tension. It caused an argument. Somebody had to talk to somebody about something. Somebody had to get something off their chest, and it didn't resolve much of anything. Damn. King of Pentacles? That's a match. So neither one of you in this situation, this can also be your internal energies, was showing up correctly to help each other. King and Queen of Pentacles, very unreliable, greedy, or just materialistic energy, where you felt that what you brought, like what you physically brought to the table, was all that you were worth. Remember this lesson around self-worth, personal value. You really thought just because you brought a couple of coins home, you was the king and the queen of the house. But that's not, that's not it. That's not all that is needed. Just because you keep the lights on or whatever. But yeah, King of Pentacles, very greedy, unreliable, unresourceful, very bad with finances on both realms. Bad in health. Health is wealth. So if your wealth is funny, so is you. So is your health. But money's a little funny over here. Six of Wands in reverse. Yeah, defeat. Complete defeat, unappreciation, and devalue. Second time that defeat didn't pop up here because you got devalued. Okay, what is this Four of Wands? Four of Wands in reverse. Unconscious, underlying cause. Four of Wands. The Death card and the Six of Cups, both in the reverse. The Death card, there's a resistance to change. Something needs to change. Not a little bit, all the way. Something needs to completely transform. However it came into the situation, it must not be the same when it will not be the same when it comes out. But something needs to completely change or just end. Close the door, lock it shut, nail it closed. Like something needs to completely end and or transform. Completely. Like no ifs, ands, or buts. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. Like it's completely like transformed into something else. Okay? And it has to do with the Six of Cups, something that feels very nostalgic to you, something from the childhood, some type of childhood some type of childhood past or past life energy, something from your past here has you stuck. You're stuck in the memories, you're stuck in the experience, but it's not allowing you to move forward. You need to find some type of independence from this energy, from this Six of Cups energy. You need to learn how to find emotional safety on your own. I feel like you keep connecting it to other people, feeling emotionally secure only with other people. I'm only saying that because there's other people on these cards. You and your person, or you and your family, you and your friends. Like, you're overly reliant on them being the safe space for you. You need to find your own emotional safety and security. You need to provide that for you. And you seem to keep connecting it to some type of past memory, experience, environment, situation, person, something from your childhood again. I'm even hearing like childhood trauma, childhood wounds. Like, there needs to be like some inner child healing here, because it is keeping you very it's keeping you very it's keeping you stuck in the past. It's keeping you, I mean, whatever needs to change and transform here, it has to be renewed. It has to be renewed. And I'm afraid that something from the past isn't working. Ten of Swords in the reverse. Another ending. Tens are about completions, ending. Ten of Swords, babe. If you get stabbed in the back 10 times, I think that's the end for you. Okay. Ten of Swords is about betrayal, like backstabbing energy. Ultimately, it's about a very dreadful and painful ending that ended very abruptly, or like again, just very painfully. It was almost even mind numbing, because it was so overwhelming on your mind. You may have numbed the pain of it, but ultimately you are building yourself back up out of this betrayal here. Five of Wands in the reverse. So much resentment, spite, and vengeance is still lingering here, because at one point you may have been trying to compete with this energy, or was put in some type of competition, or put in the middle of, a rivalry of like different conflicting egos and personalities, and too many cooks in the kitchen, too many opinions, too many people wanted to go in different directions. Like, so many people wanted to take the lead, take charge, and be the head honcho, and one up one another. But that may be over. The actual tussling of the matter of the energies may be over, but there's still lingering energy of spite and resentment, and just ultimately holding grudges against one another. Five of Pentacles. It's putting you in a lack mindset. It's putting you in a mindset of scarcity, of poverty, of feeling left out in the cold, feeling abandoned, feeling neglected, feeling like nobody's here to help you. But ultimately, closed mouths do not get fed. If this is the Five of Pentacles and then this is the Six, closed mouths don't get fed, but you need to learn how to speak up. What house is this happening in? Your third house? Your ninth house? Learning how to speak up for yourself. Speak up for what you know. Speak up for your truth, your perspective in life. Share your story. But yeah, in this energetic instability here, you may have reached a milestone. You may have gotten people together, celebrated some togetherness here, but ultimately, other people didn't hold up their end of the stick in regards to how you celebrate your achievements and milestones. And something now has to change. You're resisting the change that needs to happen, and it starts with letting go of the past. Even if it felt good, even if it felt safe, even if it felt comfortable, even if it felt familiar. All these things just kept you restricted within the same box, within the same cycle. And now it's time for you to step outside of your comfort zone. Okay? So let's look at this Seven of Swords in the reverse in your future. Some type of lie will be exposed. Somebody's going to confess something, or it's just the truth will come out. The truth shall set you free. Truth shall set you free. Okay? That's that Page of Cups energy. Let me find out. Page of Cups is so non-committal, though. So funny enough that your hopes and your fears is commitment, but then your personal outcome is so non-committal. But anyway, Seven of Swords in the reverse in the future. I thought another card was under it, but no. Ace of Swords. Truth. Clarity. Truth, clarity. Some type of conversation being had or needed to be had. Something is going to be spoken. Something needs to be said. But the truth shall set you free. The truth. Some type of lie is about to get exposed. Truth will set you free. Mother trucker. That's that Page of Cups. Some type of truth about something, someone. Could be you. We're talking about you. Okay? Being non-committal. Like, you're not really as deep as you say that you're a little shallow. You're a little shallow with how you're approaching this. Emotionally, you're very shallow. You do not hold you don't hold the space, and you do not even have the experience of the complexity that is needed to get deep, to go into those emotional depths. You are too shallow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're not sorry. There's a sense of shallowness here. Non-committal shallowness here. That's the truth. That's what's getting exposed. Is somebody here is now fully intentional and committed like they say that they are. Princess of Swords in the reverse. Somebody is obviously lying, but they just spreading misinformation, spreading half-truths, spreading misleading information. Like, they don't even have all the facts themselves. They barely have a full grasp on the knowledge and information that is coming to them. Pages barely have a full grasp on their element, okay? Let alone this in the reverse. Now you just grasping onto shit that don't even make sense. This is also gossiping energy. Gossiping, gossiping, talking shit, half truth, not knowing a goddamn thing. That's what's being exposed here. Somebody just spreading misinformation, spreading so many lies. They don't even know what they're talking about. That's the thing. They don't even know what they're talking about at all. Just playing mind games. Because, see, the Page of Swords, again, doesn't really have much to do but observe and observe and absorb information. That's it and that's all. And they're happy to do that. But in the reverse, baby, they're happy to spread that bullshit somewhere else. What the fuck? Seven of Swords. Double confirmation. Triple, multiple. Somebody is lying. Somebody is lying so bad. Somebody is making shit up so bad. And that shit is being exposed. Because it's all useless. It's all useless, pointless, made up as information. And it's all about to come out. It's all about to be revealed. Somebody gonna slip and say something, and you gonna be like, what the fuck? Or it might be you. Baby, I don't know, but somebody gonna slip the fuck up and get exposed. Somebody gonna get caught in the act. They gonna be getting caught in the act of lying. Double confirmation of that Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is the only card in the tarot that actively would say, your ass is lying. The Ace of Swords is always about truth and clarity. It's about possibly even an incoming like message or conversation and stuff like that. No, that's a truth being exposed, Spooky. Because lies have been told. To any and everyone who will fucking listen. Damn shame. Okay, damn shame. Let's look at your heart space. Let's see what you're introspecting here. What you're thinking about. What you're thinking about. Whatever you're thinking about is definitely weighing so heavy on your mind. To the point it's blinding you and holding you back. I will say though, at some point you may have been like really stressed out and overwhelmed by like these thoughts, but ultimately you're just energetically holding the weight of it. You may have been able to process through it and like kind of like resolve some of the issues, some of the things that are spiraling in your mind that was causing you to overthink. Instead of overthinking them, you decided to you didn't even transmute it. You're just still holding on to it. And you're just like, that's just the weight that I got to carry. So in your heart space, that's why you're in this hangman limbo stage. See, the hangman is basically spirit putting you in a spiritual timeout and saying, think about what you did. Not think about what you did, but think about things. Like, to become more well-rounded, shift your perspective a little bit. Be a little bit more compassionate and empathetic about things. People may have been a little bit more compassionate about you, knowing that you had all these things on your mental and stuff like that. And so now that you have been able to open up a little bit, you just decided, I'm just going to hold on to everything. It's giving Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. Like you just going to hold on to everything. Not even knowing that one day he going to say, you crowded my space. One day he will say, you crowded my space. And the Hangman is Pisces energy, which Erykah Badu is a Pisces. But yeah, you're just carrying the weight, carrying the burdens, carrying the stress around with you, just carrying it. And that's why it's weighing so heavy on your heart, because you don't have to carry all of it. You just need to learn where to delegate the shit. Give people back their shit. You carrying everybody's energy, everybody's opinions, everybody's perspective, and none of that shit is yours. Give people their shit back. 5 of Wands in the reverse. Those grudges, that resentment, that spite, that vengeance that you was holding on to, that's part of that too. And it's not yours to hold on to. It's not. It's not. Who cares who can pee the furthest? Okay? Stop comparing yourself. Stop competing. This is like one-sided competition. You're competing with yourself. You may feel like you're competing with the other person, the other situation, the other environment, but it's only because you see a piece of you in that person and you trying to one up that. But it's stemming from you. Remember that. Prince of Pentacles. Remember, it's stemming from you. So however you want to take that, however you want to continue to build with that, is on you. If you want to continue to hold on to grudges and that's what you want to take with you to build into your next life, that's what you want to continue to experience, by all means, do what you got to do. But your heart ain't going to be fulfilled ever. I love when the cards just speak for themselves. This is literally your heart space. The Ace of Cups is literally your heart space. It will never be fulfilled. It will always be depleted. It will always be complete. It will always be depleted because you're choosing to build off of a one-sided competition. That's what you're choosing to be your top source of motivation. Some revenge, some spite, some competition, some resentment, some ego. That's what it is. 5 of Wands is clashing egos and personalities, conflicting egos. You're using your ego to build towards whatever this is. And that's why you have to hold all that energy for yourself. You big and bad, you bit off more than you can chew. So stand on that. Keep it pushing, okay? Let's look at your hopes and our fears. I'm curious of why this Hierophant is here. I want to see if it's pushing more onto the hopes or to the fears. But again, I feel like it can be like a good equal 50-50. Like you hope for commitment, but you can also fear commitment too. Because it's not just about commitment, but it's a reflection based on your personal value and your own self-worth. People are afraid to look in the mirror. Why am I only getting this type of frequency to commit to? Because that's how you're showing up. Ari Lennox her song POF, Plenty of Fish. She says there's plenty of fish in the sea, but why do these lame ass fish keep swimming to me? Because you haven't done the inner work. You haven't done the inner work to rise your frequency, to rise your vibration. You haven't done the inner work. You haven't reached that level of complete security within self to do the work. So you might be afraid. You might be afraid. Or you might be like, why is all the lamest shit being attracted to me? Because when was the last time you looked in the mirror and saw what you're actually providing? What are you actually displaying out there? The Hierophant. Prince of Pentacles in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune. And the Princess of Wands in reverse. Like I said, there's plenty of fish in the sea. But why do these same lame ass fish keep swimming to me? You're not doing the work. You're choosing to stay stagnant. You're choosing to, you don't have motion. You don't have momentum. You lack the drive. You lack the ambition, the inspiration to like switch this perspective in a new way. In order to get new results, you need to make new moves. Doing the same thing and experiencing and doing the same things and expecting different results is called being clinically insane. You're welcome. You're welcome. So you will succeed. There is the Wheel of Fortune here. You will succeed. But if you continue to just operate out of incomplacency, you're not even fulfilled. You don't even know what direction. You hesitating. You don't even know which direction you want to build in and stuff like that. You don't got no motion. You ain't got no drive. Yet you want to be committed. Yet you want to have like an equal counterpart that shows the same amount of value and self-worth in yourself. Whether that's with you in a person or not, whatever you're committing to, that's what you're committing to. And you will succeed in committing to fucking nothing. Not sorry. Not sorry. This is my job. This is what I'm here to do. I'm here to put the mirror in front of your face. As a Libra, who am I to other people? I have to connect to my inner Aries. Who am I? I know who I am. I'm not saying I'm not none of this or whatever it is, but I know who I am, and I know I'm just a messenger. Okay, so don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger, and I'm just the mirror. Okay? So you better decide on what it is that you're trying to commit to. And don't sit here acting oblivious that whatever it is that you have committed to, don't act like this isn't something that you pulled into for yourself, because it definitely is. Okay? You chose to do the things that you chose to do to get to the place that you chose to be. And just because it's not progressing you further and how you want it to, it's not progressing how you want to, or you're halted in making decisions and having a strategy and knowing which way to go and blah, 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 blah. That's on you. And I can see how this can be a fear of like, well, what if I choose wrong? What if I pick wrong? I don't think there's any wrong decisions here. Just don't do what you've already done. What's already been done before, it obviously doesn't work. So take with that what you need. Queen of Cups, it's just draining you. Queen of Cups in the reverse. It's just draining you. It's draining your good, nurturing energy. Like, you are very caring. You're very considerate. You're very empathetic and compassionate and stuff like that. You pour into yourself so that you can pour into others, so that you can be very nourishing and be that emotional safety that you may not have had for yourself, or that you remember that you want to have for yourself. And regardless, you got too involved in giving that out to other people, but nobody was there to reciprocate and replenish back into you and pour back into you. And so it left you depleted. We already got the King of Cups here in the center, and then we got the Queen of Cups. That's a match, but it's unbalanced. It's unbalanced because someone's overcompensating, somebody's overgiving, and feeling emotionally depleted and having to overdo their part. Because, and we're going to get to it, somebody is undercommitting to the program. Undercommitting to the program. The program is 10 of Pentacles. Complete abundance and success that can withstand generations. That's the program. But someone's not all in. No, they're not. Someone's just trying to see how far they can get with it. And it just might be you. So let's see. Page of Cups. Personal outcome, Page of Cups. The Star. Aquarius, this is your power card and it's in the reverse. And the Diablo is also in the reverse. Bottom of the deck is the King of Pentacles. Again, King and Queen of Pentacles, King and Queen of Cups. So there's so much imbalance in how you emotionally and physically show up for each other. And if it's not with another person, it's how you just show up emotionally and physically show up for yourself. Are you catering to your emotional needs? Are you taking care of your physical needs? Okay? Page of Cups, personal outcome. You are so detached from your inner light, your inner authenticity. What makes you one in a million? What makes you, what's so different about your mind that it cannot be replicated with anyone else? What makes you original? You're so disconnected to what makes you you that is dimming your light. We do have the Diablo here in the reverse, which means you are unbinding yourself from toxic loops, cycles, and patterns and behaviors. You're no longer allowing yourself to get entangled in those webs of codependency on substances, on people, on environments, on whatever it is that is energetically holding you back, energetically keeping you in a lower frequency. You may not be, there might not be that strong hold on you anymore. And so that's why you're kind of lightheartedly like playing in this energy and stuff like that. Because you don't want to be held back no longer. But it's still, but you're still not seeing yourself truly for what you are. You're not seeing yourself as the star. You're not seeing yourself, again, this is Aquarius energy. That healing energy, that restorative, like restoration in your own faith. again, it feels like that energy is just getting diminished. Your light is just being dimmed, is being drained. It's not being used properly. It's being overshadowed. It's being overshadowed. King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck in the reverse. Lack of security. Literal insecurity and unreliability, untrustworthiness. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust that you have something to offer to others as an original person, as your own person. You don't trust that you alone have this gift. You don't trust that at all. And so that's why you won't take a leap of faith. That's why you don't have faith in a mustard seed. It's because you don't trust. You don't believe in that. Even for yourself, you don't believe in that. Prince of Wands, Knight of Wands in the reverse. So you're stuck. You have no drive, no enthusiasm, no momentum, no, you don't even want obviously you don't want to move forward. You don't want to start something new. But it's like you don't even, you lost, it's like you ran out of fuel. You've been operating on fumes for so long. And now you're just empty. Ultimately, something didn't work out in the way that you had hoped it would, or something fizzled out way quickly than you expected to. Something probably also fizzled in, but fizzled out just as quickly as it came in. But ultimately, it did not progress. Something here did not progress in the way that you had hoped it to be or hope it to do. And it's left you drained on multiple levels. Energetically, physically, mentally, you're just drained. Emotionally. The Hermit in the reverse. You also feel lonely. You feel isolated. You feel put to the side. But this is, again, another feeling. This is where you need to trust yourself. So there's a lack of trust, a lack of discernment as well, and a lack of connecting to that inner wisdom. To connecting to that inner wisdom that you have. The Hermit guides itself forward using the experiences it had. The Hermit guides itself forward using experiences it has already experienced. So using the knowledge, using the wisdom, or gaining wisdom from the things that they have experienced, the Hermit is able to only see a couple of steps ahead using the little bit of light that they have left. My favorite, I had channeled this I think it was during the mutable signs for their past, present, and future energy. Anyway, I had channeled this and I thought it was a beautiful channel. The Hermit is ruled by Virgo. Virgo is a mutable sign, which is the end of a season. So Virgo is the end of summer, right until we get into fall. Libra is the beginning of fall. That's when light and dark becomes equal. Okay? So Virgo being the last season before the fall is trying to use every little ounce of light that they can to like not go into the darkness because they can't handle the darkness. Virgo can't handle the darkness. They can't handle the darkness. Okay? The darkness starts with Libra. Okay? So they used every so slight little bit of light that they can grasp to continue to move forward, to, you know, and most likely you're not going to be able to see, 5, 6, 7 steps ahead. You're just going to be able to see what your little feet can get you to. So it's going to be a step-by-step process, but you need to take the lead first. You need to take the lead first. And from that, you should be able to trust yourself to guide yourself forward. Trust that inner wisdom. Trust what you know. Use that discernment and trust what you know. Okay? Don't try to move. Stop trying to rush things and moving fast with urgency and stuff like that. You don't need to heighten up the pace. You just need to know exactly what the fuck you're doing. You'll get there way faster just by knowing that things are done correctly with intention and discernment. Okay? So, with that, Aries, not Aries, excuse me. Yeah, I'm going to bed after this. With that, Aquarius and Leo, I will be ending that there. If this reading resonated for you, or you would like to dig any deeper or even book a personal reading, I will be opening personal readings shortly. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me at Libra Baby Doll. Okay? So, yeah. I'm going to end this with some badass affirmations. And I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go. I have to stretch my legs. Because I've been doing this for at least like 4 hours. Okay. Whew. Oh, y'all got a lot of affirmation. Okay. We have another one in here. Hold on. Okay. Wow. I literally thought of this card when I was saying, whatever I was saying. Oh, when the Hermit card popped up, feeling lonely, feeling isolated, I literally thought about this card. There's a specific card in this deck that I read a long time ago, and it made me think of this card, and that card popped out. I'm going to read it last. Wow. Okay. Okay, so what came out for you? Just double checking because these cards all look the same, no matter how they're flipped sometimes. Okay, that's all your cards. Okay. I will let go of the shit that doesn't serve me. Let go of the shit that doesn't serve you. I am fucking powerful. Yes, you are. And I am a fucking masterpiece. Okay? I feel like those were like very personal affirmations that you can say to yourself. You know how I said I'll hold up a mirror to you? Say those in a mirror. Why not? This card, though, I literally thought about it when I saw the Hermit in the reverse. Because the Hermit in the reverse means the Hermit is about solitude, being able to feel safe and comfortable within your own company. You know, misery loves company, but the Hermit doesn't. Okay? The Hermit doesn't. So the Hermit loves its solitude, loves its own company, and like it trusts its own inner wisdom and guidance to get it where it needs to go. Okay? In the reverse, can feel a little lonely, a little isolated, a little put out there, like, dang. But also the lack of discernment, the lack of trust, you know, can also leave you outcasted. But this card simply says, if love turns lonely, let go. If you feel lonely in your relationship, in a connection, if you feel like you're around the person yet you still feel alone, or you're around a group of people yet you still feel alone and feel unseen and unheard and unappreciated and undervalued, don't hold on to that shit. Let that shit go. That's not for you to hold on to, because they're not holding on to you, they're not supporting you, they're not pouring into you, and it's just going to drain you trying to continue to be the one to show up. They're not showing up. So if love turns lonely, let it go, because you are powerful and you are a masterpiece of your own self. And you just told yourself, I will let go of the shit that doesn't serve me. Being lonely in a room full of people doesn't serve you any good. It does you an injustice. The bottom of the deck, it just said, it's a little, it's not even a typo, it's missing a whole letter, but it says, I have kick-ass life. I think it's supposed to say, I have a kick-ass life. But kick some ass, okay? Kick some ass out, cut some ass out. Do whatever needs to be done, okay? But celebrate yourself. Remember to celebrate yourself. Celebrate your wins, even the small ones. You don't want to put it off just because it's small, okay? Because how would you ever truly appreciate the big wins if you just keep putting all the little ones off? How did you even fucking get there? Because of the little ones. So celebrate all the wins, all the milestones. Okay? All right. And again, I'm leaving that there. Aquarius, not Libra. Aquarius, Leo. I'm leaving this here. If this resonated for you, or you would like to dig deeper in this reading or book a personal reading with me, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at Libra Pipido. I'm tired. I'm going to take me a nappy poo.